Alright, so we are starting Unit 5 Variable Data Types, Characters. This is our practice video 5, and in characters we're going to talk about ASCII code. A character is a single letter or value, okay, char. We call it char, and the variables are actually integers, okay, so char is a 16-bit unassigned int data type. So the most important ASCII values that you need to know is that a capital A is 65, a lowercase a is 97, and 0 starts at 48. Okay, so what that means is if I ask you what ASCII code D would be, then if you know A is 65 for a capital A, I'm sorry, if I ask you for a capital D and you know capital A starts at 65, then you can say A is 65, B is 66, C is 67, and D would be 68. So you know how to count it. And the same thing with lowercase. If I say, lowercase a is 97, then you should be able to tell me what lowercase d is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to copy these into our code, and we're going to see how they run. So the first thing I want you to do is take your ending comment line right here, and you're going to move it down so that it comments out everything above it. And we could create a whole new program to put these in, but there's really no reason to. We have the data types program already created, and we can just move this stuff in here. So let's do the first section. We're just going to copy these. We have our declaration. Do a Control C, come over here, Control V. It automatically puts in these spaces when we paste stuff in, and you can take them out. It's very simple. So we have char let equals, and notice that this is a single character around the A, okay? Because it is a char, we use the single quote. If we were doing a string, we would use double quotes, okay? So we're using a single quote. Then we have char fun equals 65, char test equals lowercase a, char go equals 97, and char what equals 48. So then we're printing out each of these. We run it, and now we have our capital letters. Notice that when we say we want a capital A, we put the single quotes around it, and then we put capital A. So it's a single letter. And then we have 65, but 65, when we print 65 on the screen, it gives us the capital A. Then we have lowercase a, which is right here, and then we did 97, and 97 is a lowercase a. And then 48 is 0. So if I change this to 50 and I run it, now I've got 2. Okay, so now we're going to come down here and we're going to copy our second set of code, and we'll see how this works. Now you can comment this out if you want to, or leave it there. It's up to you. But you would just take the comment line right here, drag it to right there. So now all I'm getting is the current code that I'm looking at. I'm not going to get any extraneous code. Alright, so what do you think this character B plus 1 is going to give us? Is that just going to print B plus 1? Or is it going to add, because capital B would be what? 66 plus 1 would be 67, and 67 is going to be C, capital C. So am I going to get a capital C, or am I going to get B plus 1? What do you think? So think about that for a second, and then now let's go ahead and see what happens. We're going to compile this, and we're going to run it. So now we get 2 A's, because I got alpha, capital A. I've got char ASCII 65, which is capital A. Then I have the sum, which is char sum equals, I've got the, right here, I've done this character B plus 1. So it's going to take the value of B, which is 66, okay, just checking to see if you're listening. 66 plus 1, which equals 67, and so now I get the C. But here, when I say system.out.println character B plus 1, what do I get? It gives me the integer value and gives me a 67, okay? So something to remember, play around with it a little bit, but when you run this, if you do it, the addition outside, you know, char sum equal the character plus 1, you're going to get the value what's in ASCII, the ASCII value. Or if you do it inside the parentheses, then you're going to get a number value. Okay? If you have any questions, please contact me.